Hey everyone, and welcome to Canine Dog Talk. You've probably heard it a million times, right? Oh, you'll know when your dog is sick, but is that really true? The honest answer is, most of us don't. It's so easy to see their strength and think it's just them being tough, or mistake their quietness for them being content. So today, we're gonna dive into those super subtle signs they give us, way before things get really obvious.
And that right there, that's the heart of the problem. Our dogs, bless them, are absolute masters of disguise. They just carry their burdens so silently. And what's scary is that by the time we finally catch on that something is really truly wrong, that issue might have been brewing for a long, long time.
But what if you could learn to speak their language? Well, that's exactly what this is all about. Think of this as your guide to finally understanding those silent signals, to closing that communication gap, and to really, truly seeing what your best friend is trying to tell you. Ready? Let's get started.
All right, first up, we're talking about those unseen physical clues. You know, the little things that are so easy to just brush off or get wrong, but they actually mean a whole lot. Just think about it for a second. You see your dog tremble a little bit, and what's the first thing your brain does? It jumps to the easy answer, right? Oh, he's just cold, or she's just super excited I'm home. But what if it's something else entirely? See, when there's no obvious reason for it, it's not cold, they're not scared, that little shake, well, it becomes a message. It's their body's way of trying to tell you something's going on inside, a message they just don't have the words for. That little shiver could actually be them trying to deal with internal pain. It could be a fever slowly creeping up, or maybe an infection you'd have no other way of seeing. And here's the thing, it's one of the few signs they physically can't hide, no matter how hard they try to put on a brave face for you. Okay, let's talk about a super powerful tool that almost nobody thinks about, their gums. Seriously, it's a really simple 3-step check you can do right at home, and it can tell you so much about what's going on under the surface. It's all about knowing what you're looking at. So what you want to see is a nice, soft bubblegum pink color. But if you see a change, if they look pale or grayish or even a really deep, angry red, that's a major warning sign. Those colors can mean their body is fighting something serious, like a low blood count, some kind of toxin, or even that their heart is struggling. Okay, let's move into our second section, reading their vitals. Now, these clues are hiding in plain sight, in their everyday habits. You know, the stuff we see all the time, but maybe don't really pay close attention to. I think we've all been there. You find a little puddle of that yellowish foam, and you just kind of clean it up and think, dogs eat weird stuff, right? But here's the key. When you start seeing it happen again and again, especially when they haven't eaten, that's not random anymore. That's a pattern. That yellow stuff, that's bile. And it's a signal. It could point to anything from an irritated stomach to pressure on their liver or even an infection that's slowly taking hold. Think of these little episodes as their body's first attempt to wave a flag and say, hey, I need some help here, before it gets really bad. And then there's the water bowl. It's kind of like a tale of two extremes, and either one is a red flag. On one hand, if that bowl is suddenly always empty, it could mean their body is trying to deal with high blood sugar or kidney issues. But on the other hand, if the water level never seems to go down, it could be a sign they're in pain or just too exhausted to drink, and that can lead to dangerous dehydration really, really fast. All right, on to section 3. You know, her dogs want nothing more than to run and play and be with us. But sometimes their bodies just can't keep up with their hearts. This next set of signs is all about how they carry their pain. And man, it can be subtle. This really says it all. You see it at the front door, right? They want to spring up to greet you, their tail is going crazy, but for just a split second, there's this tiny hesitation. It's almost invisible. That's their body bracing itself for the effort. And that little quiet struggle, it could be a sign of chronic pain that they've just learned to live with. It could be inflammation in their joints, or even just pure exhaustion from fighting off an infection. And please, don't think this is just an old dog thing. If you see a young dog struggling to get up, that is a huge sign that something is hurting. It's so easy to just see a tiny limp or notice they're a little slower and just dismiss it. But what you're really watching is an act of self-preservation. They're literally protecting themselves, shifting their weight ever so slightly, making their steps a little shorter, all to guard a part of them that hurts. They're moving through their world with caution when they should be moving with joy. So after all that quiet strength, after all that stoicism, there sometimes comes a moment when the pain just can't be held in anymore. It finds a voice. And this sign, this is the one that often finally breaks through their brave exterior. It can be so small, like a soft little whine when you pick them up, or as they're settling into your lap. It's so faint, you might even convince yourself you imagined it. But listen, that sound is pure, unfiltered honesty. Dogs just don't complain to get attention. When they make that sound, it's because something truly hurts, and they just can't hide it anymore. And this isn't them just being sensitive. That little whine could be anything from aching muscles to painful joints, or something much more serious growing where you can't see it. When you hear that sound and recognize what it really is, that's the moment you've truly heard their plea for help.
Okay, so as we wrap up, please know that the point of all this isn't to make you worry all the time. Not at all. It's about empowerment. It's about taking all that love you have for your dog and channeling it into a real, active, observant awareness. Because once you start seeing these little things for what they might be, your whole relationship changes. You're not just their owner anymore, you become their advocate. You're the one they're counting on to pick up on those subtle clues and to speak for them when they can't. And really, that's the big takeaway here. Let's call it the guardian's promise. It's that unspoken deal we make with them, the commitment to just look a little closer, to listen a little more carefully, and to act when we see something. That's how we honor that incredible bond we have with them. Look, if any of this has helped you see your dog in a new way, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to Canine Dog Talk. Our whole mission here is to help you deepen that bond and understand your best friend on a whole new level. So I'll leave you with this one thought. After this, go find your dog. Just watch them for a minute. Watch how they move, listen to those quiet little sounds they make. Now that you know their language a little better, what do you think they might be trying to tell you today?